Communities along the highway will be getting some attention from government over the next couple of months. The Ministry of Transportation will be meeting with municipal leaders and First Nations to talk about ways to improve services of all kinds along that corridor.
It can be a busy stretch of highway with not a lot between the communities that dot the landscape. For that reason, the Ministry of Transportation wants to find ways to improve services along Highway 16.
I drive throughout my riding, moving from Prince George to the Alberta border very frequently, and there are long stretches that still don't have cell phone coverage. So of course we need to look at connecting communities and making sure that people have choices about practical and appropriate ways to connect. And bus schedules have been adjusted, and it's not always easy to find that bus schedule that works for you.
Ministry officials are holding meetings over the course of June and July to get feedback on what would help. They met with Carrier Secondary Family Services already and were surprised at the lack of amenities in many communities.
A lot of people would be the lack of public transit, no bus system, no taxis in some of these communities, and from outlying communities into an urban centre is very difficult if you do not have your own vehicle.
Wendy Kellis says they also encouraged the ministry to meet with more than just civic and First Nations leaders.
We were really encouraging them to meet with community members, so not just the community leaders, mayors, chief and council, but also community members that need to access public transportation, get groceries, get to doctor's appointments, those kinds of things.
Highway 16 has also been dubbed the Highway of Tears, with the tragic loss of many women who have disappeared along the highway, often while hitchhiking. Kellis believes the government's efforts are related, but not exclusively.
When you do not have access to consistent, reliable, inexpensive transportation, and you live in a smaller community, if you are left to the only option being hitchhiking, you're vulnerable. And I believe that, yes, some of these women were put in this vulnerable situation, and unfortunately it ended in tragedy.
It's not something Shirley Bond takes lightly either.
For me, it's just another part of the discussion about northern needs. And we have a different set of circumstances here in the north. It isn't easy to just find a way to get from one community to the next. And obviously we've had a series of very tragic incidents along a major section of Highway 16, and that has always been a personal passion for me.
Bond says she'll look forward to seeing what some of the solutions will be forthcoming from the meetings. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.